Hey, I never knew I could do a self-timer for a video, like to start it. I never knew that. So I already made a video, this video, but there's a lot of wind in the background, so I had to go and shut that window over there. If you hear wind in the background, it's literally the wind coming from outside through the window. And apologies. So, can you see this? Yes, you can. How my life has changed since I found out I was pregnant. So that's what this video will of course be about. So, my name's Shannon. I'm from Massachusetts. For those of you who don't know me, obviously. How my life has changed since I found out I was pregnant. For starters, for people who don't know me, again, little insight into my life. Oh, Riley's back, by the way, guys. Of course. She's literally like does not leave my side. If you see my Snapchats, she's always with me. Sorry, ADHD much? So for those of you who don't know me, 2015 was a pretty fucking crazy year. Was dating somebody who was incredibly emotionally and physically abusive, and it was tough breaking away from that. And from that, I moved to Methuen with a friend and her family. And of course, I couldn't stay there forever. So I had another friend that was living in North Carolina, Courtney. Shout out! Woo! And she and her family thankfully let me come and move in with them. And it's like the second I walked into the state, was home. I had went on vacations with them there, like 2 other times, and I definitely was in love. But moving there, it was incredible, and a dream come true, truly. So I moved there, and just a week before moving there, my father had told me that he was sick with lung cancer. At the time, we did not know how serious it was. And that didn't really sit well with me, living in North Carolina while he was in Massachusetts, sick. I wanted to go back to Massachusetts and spend time with him. So I did. I left North Carolina, home, absolute home, and began my life back in Massachusetts. Going back home to my friends that were there, obviously, it was nice. But with my father's sickness and, being down with that, going through the changes of all that, no longer really being able to have people over or live the life that I had lived once before. Everything was changing. And with that, I lost a lot of friends. Going through all of that and going through the process of losing my father. He had passed in September of last year, and with that, like I said, I lost a lot of friends. Some people can be there for you during times of need, where you really, really need support and love and help and care and effort. And some people can't, It's not their responsibility to be your rock, but you hope that you will have those people, those few people in your life that can be your rock. And those are the people worth keeping in your life. And I'm so thankful for those couple out there that were my rock during those times. And You know who you are. I thank you for it. More than anything, those are definitely the people you need in your life. And so losing my dad and everything, obviously, was really hard. Losing a parent is going to be the hardest thing you will ever have to do. And with that, I got pretty suicidal, had incredibly suicidal thoughts. I found no reason to want to be here anymore. I felt like I didn't have anything. My dad was literally my everything. He was a great dude, and so I went a little crazy, and I went to the Nut Nut house, sent myself to the Nut Nut house. It was definitely about time. You know, we're all gonna go through it one day. I wish we didn't. I wish we didn't have to go through it. But you know, one day you'll see what I had to go through, and I don't wish that on anyone. But unfortunately, the reality is we will all have to go through it. And so I was off my fucking rocker. Moral of the story. So going to the Nut Nut house, it definitely was hard. I forget what the hell I was just gonna say. Oh, I got it. So obviously the past year has been incredibly hard for me. Losing my dad, leaving North Carolina, seeing my dad go through what he had to go through. Losing him, going to the Nut Nut house, dealing with the trauma of my father, of course, the loss of my father, and dealing with the trauma from incredibly unhealthy, toxic relationships with abusive as fuck people. The absolutely terrible year that I had was all leading up to this now. And this is the silver lining. This is God telling me, you know, this is why I kept you here. This is why I made you fight stronger. This is why you're still here. This was your purpose. And a good friend of mine recently actually told me that he believes that it's been the hardest time of my life, and obviously this is why it happened. You know, everything was crazy and out of control and going downhill, and it was all the universe, you know, leading me to this now. And this is the silver lining. So this really, really bad past year was all leading up to happiness. And I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. I am no way, shape, or form religious. I definitely believe that there's a higher power. And I believe that this is the reason. Just there's no other explanation. For those of you who do not know about this, I had been trying to have a baby with that boyfriend at the time who was incredibly abusive and crazy. Why was I trying to have a baby with him? Guys, because I'm fucking crazy. No, we were good at one point, obviously, but people change, shit happens. Tried for 2 years, tried for a year with him, and then on and off with other boyfriends this past year. Never once happened. Never ever happened. And then magically, So I really believe that everything was just leading up to this. Is the universe telling me, you know why. How my life has changed. I need to get on myself, like get on my ass. Like with this whole baby stuff happening, it's really turned me in the direction of making a change and bettering my life. Most of you know me as being a rebellious adventurer, never really giving a fuck what anyone cares. I mean, what anyone, is that what I want to say? What anyone cares about me? Sure. I'm getting on the ball. Job, stat, license, permit, stat. For those of you who don't know, I do not have my permit. I do not have a license. But I have a car. Funny thing. Thankfully, my mom is giving me her Chevy. My brain is literally gone. Her Chevy Impala. And that's very kind of her because she wants me to be able to get to and from a job. So she's gonna give me her car, and it's really awesome. Over the past 6 months of my father's absence, everyone in my house practically has been jobless. My sister, my mother, and I have mostly spent the last 6 months with each other. My sister has been going to her job. Myself, I did not leave on good terms. I'm a fuck the world kind of gal. I don't really keep those bridges up. I usually burn them right down. So it's time to get back on the wagon. I need to pay some bills. Thankfully, my mother has helped me with a rather large bill, but it's not her responsibility to pay my bills for me. Not one bit. So I need to get back on the wagon and better myself for this child. So that I've been taking a lot more seriously, and usually I'll just say things like, oh, I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna get my permit, I'm gonna pay my bills. But I've been studying like crazy for my permit test. Though I need more studying, I've been making flashcards because honestly, I'm getting a lot of questions wrong. I guess I don't have as much common sense as I thought. So, definitely on it though. A lot of you know me to be, let's just be blunt, to be a hoe. A straight hoe. We all know that I have had my fair share of experiences, and that's not me anymore. They say that when you're pregnant, you either are incredibly horny or you have no sex drive, and I thankfully have no sex drive. So if you're a male and you are watching, sorry if my nose ring is sticking out. So if you're a male and you're watching this video right now, and you're thinking, damn, she looks good today, stay away from me. Turn around, pause this video, go throw some cold water on your face, something, I don't know. But I'm not interested. Please stay away from me. Boys, ew, gross. Obviously there's like typical restrictions that everybody knows of when you have a baby in you. I can no longer ride a motorcycle, and I would really love to more than fucking anything. But you can't. Shitty, but shit happens. Those of you who see, obviously, tattoos, I can no longer get those. That's like what I'm most upset about, to be honest. especially because somebody just recently offered to finish my tattoos that, heard some background noise, I apologize. I have to go make sure the coast was clear. I'm afraid this is gonna fall. Oh, apologies. Anyway, I'm sorry that I'm so weird. Like, people watching this are probably like, this is the weirdest person I've ever watched in my life. I can no longer get piercings or tattoos. That's what I was saying. Somebody offered to finish my tattoos that some prick left unfinished on me back in December. They offered to finish some. I was like, any chance you want to wait till the ending of November? They said yes, thankfully. But yeah, no more running. I love running. For those of you that were telling me how jealous you were that I lost all that weight last summer and everything, just run. Literally just run. Just run and drink water. Because that's how I did it. Ran like every morning, every afternoon, every night. And now I can't do that. So, fuck. But I love running. It gives me like such a high without being high. Speaking of high, obviously those of you that know me know that I'm an incredible stoner. And of those of you who don't know me that are on my Snapchat and are like, how much do you smoke a day? Get out. You obviously can't keep up on my level. I can no longer smoke, obviously. We do not want to harm the fetus. Even though apparently, you know, some controversy about that. A lot of people will still smoke when they're pregnant, but what you're probably unaware of is that they screen you when you go to your doctor's appointments for drugs. And marijuana is a drug technically, though I don't think it is. I'm sure a lot of you out there agree, but it is, you know, according to them. But by the way, I'm really sorry that you guys have to like look at this weird. I took like a testing video and it looks all crazy in it, so apologies. You could look up here if you want. I'll cover this. I'm really sorry how bad my ADHD is. No more smoking. Controversy. You get screened. And for the first couple of visits, they don't hold it against you because it's in your system for 6 to 7 weeks, whatever. But eventually they'll keep screening, obviously, and if it's in your system, they will have DCF come to your house when the baby is born and make sure that it's a safe environment for the baby and that the baby isn't on any drugs and that you're not on any drugs. And I'd rather them not have to do that, so I'm just gonna, you know, stay sober for the sake of my child. But to each your own, you know, to each their own. If y'all want to smoke while you're pregnant, do you boo? But yeah. How my life has changed since I found out I was pregnant. Life is an adventure. My dad always said that to me. And it absolutely is. But it's no longer the adventure that I thought it was. Constantly picking up my life and running at any chance I could get. Constantly running to North Carolina every 3 months. I'm not going to be able to do that with a baby. It's not safe. It's not a healthy environment for a baby to constantly be moving. can't run anymore, you know? I gotta stay put. I gotta pick a place. Could definitely still be adventure, just in different ways. It's definitely gonna be an adventure. It's definitely gonna be an adventure now. But a different one. With my family's whole move to Florida thing, at first I looked forward to it and I was excited to make a change and have an adventure and all that. But bringing a life into this, you know, there's a whole other side of that baby's life. The father's side. It's not just me. Though the father chooses to not be in its life, or at least currently, who the fuck knows what the future holds. I'm sure he'll be still be the same. But anyway,